What if you were offered a new life, a chance to own vast, fertile lands in a tropical paradise, a place brimming with gold, silver, and untold opportunity? In the 1820s, hundreds of people seized this dream. They sold their homes, packed their belongings, and sailed across the Atlantic to a new nation called Poye. But their dream was about to become a nightmare, because Poye did not exist. This is the shocking, true story of Gregor MacGregor, the man who sold a fake country. To understand the fraud, you must first understand the man. Gregor MacGregor was a Scottish soldier with a flair for the dramatic. He had served with distinction in the Venezuelan War of Independence, earning the rank of general. He returned to London a celebrated hero, spinning tales of his adventures and basking in high society's admiration. He was charismatic, convincing, and carried the air of a man destined for greatness. He named himself the Cossack of Poye, a prince of a land he claimed was granted to him by a native king. MacGregor's deception was masterful in its detail. He didn't just tell people about Poye et Saouid Tem. He produced elaborate maps, charting its rivers and towns. He published a 350-page guidebook, complete with climate data and population statistics. He designed a national flag and printed currency. He claimed Poye had a functioning government, a well-established capital city, and a population of friendly natives eager to trade. He opened offices in London and Edinburgh, selling land certificates and government bonds to an eager public. People weren't just buying land, they were investing in the infrastructure of a nation. Why did so many fall for it? MacGregor targeted a society hungry for investment opportunities. After the Napoleonic Wars, he offered them a story they wanted to believe. He hired publicists to plant fake news stories in the papers, praising the fertile lands and endless resources of Poye. He sold positions in the Poyesian army and government. He convinced doctors, lawyers, and skilled tradesmen that their expertise was desperately needed in this burgeoning new world. In total, he raised the equivalent of millions of dollars. In 1822, the first two ships of settlers set sail. They arrived not to a bustling capital, but to a desolate, swampy wilderness. There was no port, no town, no friendly natives. There was only disease, starvation, and death. Of the 250 people who sailed, more than half died. The survivors were eventually rescued by a passing ship, their dreams shattered and their fortunes lost. The news trickled back to London, but MacGregor, ever the con man, dismissed it as malicious propaganda. He even managed to entice a few more ships of settlers before the full scale of the disaster became public. When the truth could no longer be denied, the public was outraged. But Gregor MacGregor was a slippery figure. He fled to France, where he attempted to run the same scam again. Though he was briefly imprisoned, he was acquitted. He eventually returned to Venezuela, the scene of his former military glory. In a final, unbelievable twist of fate, he was welcomed back as a national hero. He was granted a pension and died a celebrated figure, never truly facing justice for the lives he destroyed. The Poye scheme remains one of the most audacious cons in history. It's a chilling story about the power of a good narrative and the dangers of blind trust. Gregor MacGregor didn't just sell land, he sold a dream. His story is a timeless reminder that when something sounds too good to be true, it almost always is. It teaches us that the most convincing lies are the ones we tell ourselves.